Alright, so we'll clean up and we'll move on to our medic. Alright, so this is gonna go over here. Cameron Scott this way, Xeno Crusher, and some unknown card. And now before we actually do anything fun, he's got this thing here. So, here we gotta do draw the top 3 cards of your deck. If any of them has an attack value, add 1 Hive card to the complex. Then we discard all other cards drawn, and finally put this in the next player's discard pile. So, let's put it in the discard pile right away. Let's draw 3 cards. Only 2. Okay, good enough. Nope. And no. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, good. So no Hive cards, no new Hive cards to the complex. Very good, very good. We've got a Vigilant here, and we'll put it over here with the other one. So he's pretty lucky. He'll block some strikes. And what does he have? Actually, he's got 1, 2 attack, and 3. Wow, 3 attack, 2 recruits. That is a crappy hand. But we do have a coordinate here. And nothing else, really. Oh, again, I almost forgot. That Facehugger. Okay, so this is all he's going to do. So 1, 2, 3. Killing the Facehugger. Thank you. Goodbye. And back to the hatchery you go. Okay. Do we want to coordinate 2 attacks? I don't think so. I mean, we could, because we still have these 2, zombies, if you will. So we could do a coordinate 2 attack to actually get rid of 1, because that's still 2 strikes at the end of the turn, and that's bad. Although I do have 2 body armors, so So you know what? I think I'm going to hang on to my gunner's coordinate because, let's not forget, the goal is to kill this guy, and it's still, 14, so we might need it later. So that's going to be that for the medic's turn, and with those 2 strikes here, I will be discarding these 2 cards right here to avoid these 2 strikes. So I'm going to clean up, and then we'll move on to the Mechanics Hive phase. Okay, all in all, not a bad hand for this guy here. Alright, so let's move on to the Mechanic. Let's do the Hive phase. Alright. Now, of course, Cameron Scott cannot be gained as an alien slave because he is a human. Now, can we actually muster up 14? I don't think so, but let's go check it out anyways. Well, first thing we got to do is deal with the Xenotoxin Insanity here, and it says draw from your deck until you draw a character with an attack value. Discard all other cards drawn. The value equals the total number of random dead enemies to put on top of the Hive face down. Okay, not the end of the world, so let's put that in the next player's discard pile. Let's draw until we get an attack. So, 2. Alright, so we will go get 2 random dead enemies. Here's my whole deck of dead enemies. And put 2 on top of the Hive. And here we go. Next. We have a Vigilant here to block some strikes, which is good. What else? Do we have any blue? We don't. Can someone coordinate any blue with us? No. Okay, that's pretty bad. Well, it's just a missed opportunity. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks, and an enemy gets -2 in the combat zone. So I think we can just clear out those two mind-controlled zombies in the combat zone. So yeah, let's do that. And we have a slave here, for 6, which is huge when you think about it. Could we kill Dr. Cameron Scott? Let's say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're missing 3. We have a coordinate 2. Ugh! Dang it. If we had a coordinate 3, we could probably get him. But we don't. Oh, that's awful. Bleh. Alright, let's just go deal with these 2 idiots then in the combat zone. So the simple act of playing this card, during this turn, the next time you fight an enemy, it gets -2. So -2, so we're using that, so he's dead, and then this other 2 is going to go here and kill him. That's my understanding of it. So these guys are dead. And now these 2 guys, these 2 enemies, don't go in the dead characters pile. They are now enemies, so they would go in the dead enemies pile. Okay, next, we still have all of this as attack values go. So 3, potentially 9. I think we should try and kill this guy just so he doesn't, come into the combat zone. So I will try to to activate this slave here. And I'm going to be on my own to do this. No one can coordinate any scientists to help me. So wish me luck. So I got to roll a die here. Anything but a 1 or a 2. Oh, it's a 2. Oh, that's awful. So he backfires. So that won't work. And I draw a strike. But if you remember correctly, I do have the body armor, so I'm going to discard this to not draw a strike. And then he's going to go in my discard pile. Okay, that was too bad, and I have 3 here. And do I actually want to scan any cards? Do I? I mean, if it's events or hazards, it could be potentially bad. So realistically, I would not scan, okay? Now, if ever we end the game and you guys didn't see what the events and the hazards are, we can look at them. But just for, you know, as a smart player, I would say let's not scan, okay? Then again, you know, if it's an event and it goes away, it kind of gives you some breathing room. Well, okay, you know what? Let's actually look at what the event would be. So, all right, let's check it out. So the event here, he's controlling our men. Each player takes a random non-USCM character from their hand and puts it in the combat zone as an enemy. Okay, that's bad. These cards' recruit values are now attack values. These enemies strike like aliens. So yeah, you could lose something from your hand, which is bad. Yeah, which is bad. And if it was the 3rd hazard, let's see what it would do here. Mass hysteria. Shuffle all players' hand of cards together. Deal them back, starting with the active player. Lastly, roll cards are given back to their avatar owners. So this just completely messes up your plans, right? And like if you play like me, where I try to get all the same kinds of cards to get combos going, this really screws with you. So I don't like any of those things. So I will not be scanning up here. So that's it. My turn is over. I'm going to clean up and then we'll move on to the gunner's hive phase. All right, so let's go to the gunner. And this is going to move down here. He's here. Wow, if we could gain him as a slave, that would potentially be a 10 attack value later on. But I don't think it's going to happen. And now he's just hit the combat zone, so we have to kill 2 cards in HQ. Now, potentially these cards will then, you know, become slaves for Dr. Cameron Scott to use against us. So I think the smart thing to do is to kill the ones with the lowest recruit values, because these become basically, you know, HPs or attack points. So yeah, let's get rid of these 2. And let's replenish. All right, so these guys go in the dead characters pile. And now what can my gunner do? Let's go check out his hand. All right, nothing super fancy. Well, he could heal strikes right here. When a card is later played, bring a dead player back to life, or heal any 3 strikes. Well, I mean, there's 2 here and 1 here, so why not, right? I say yes. So let's play that. So that's going to go into operations, where we can later buy it for 4. So let's heal these 2 strikes over here, and this one as well. Okay, so we've got 1, 2 for sure. We have 1, 2, 3, and you get +1 for each green fist you played. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is worth 4. And then we got 1 and another +1 if you've played one of these Marines. So this, of course we did, so this is 2. So 4 and 2 is 6, 7, 8. 8, can we coordinate? 9, 10. We can't coordinate more than that, so 10 and nothing else. Dang. Oh, but we do have 10. Now, we could actually kill this guy. Funny, we just talked about this. So we could kill him and gain him as a slave, which would potentially be awesome later on. Or we just, you know, kill this guy to not draw a strike. But you know what? My gunner is pretty healthy right now. He's got 11. So I'm feeling funky. Why don't we do this? Yeah, man, let's do it. It's going to be hilarious. Let's do it. So we're going to kill him and gain him as a slave. So this is going to go in my gunner's discard pile. And because my mechanic actually used this coordinate here, we'll draw another card. Okay, pretty boring. And that's the end of that. Well, I mean, we've got 2 recruits here, but do we want... Oh, you know what? With our house rule, if you use 2 recruits, you can actually get rid of 2 cards, up to 2 cards, in HQ. And why don't we do that? Because these 2 cards, as awesome as they are, this is going to become potentially enemies that we have to defeat. And defeating an 8 and a 9 is kind of a bummer, you know, kind of hard to do. So I think we're going to be spending 2 here to get rid of these 2. I think it's a smart thing to do. So let's get rid of them, put them underneath the barracks deck, and then we'll just replenish. And I am drawing of this and of that. Ooh, oh, that's nice. I'd like to buy this, but you know. Okay, so that's pretty much all done. And now because there is still a enemy in the combat zone, we will have to draw a strike. So here we go. Okay, it's a deep gash. Not too bad. Still pretty healthy. Okay, so let's clean up and then go do the Medic's Hive phase. 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. All right, so this goes over here. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Dr. Cameron Scott is still up here, so his strike ability will not activate, and that's good. All right, so let's check out what our mechanic can do. Well, first of all, we've got a Vigilant here, so we'll put that aside in case he draws a strike. And what else? What else? How much can we get here? So this is 1, 2, because we have played another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we've got green. So 6, 7, and then maybe 11. But we'd have to draw a strike because we don't have any red, and nobody can actually coordinate red with us. Okay, so I've got 11. Can we kill Dr. Cameron Scott? We need 3 more. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Coordinate 2. That's it? Ah, so close. We're 1 away. Oh, that's awful. That's just awful. Okay. Oh, man. All right, so I think, first off, let's try and kill the Slayer drone in the combat zone. Well, first of all, let's do 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 2 together, and we can now get rid of him. And now if we really wanted to, we could get 5 more to scan. But again, I don't know that it's such a good idea to scan. So I think I'm just gonna pass, right? And as far as recruit goes, like we could buy a med pack or maybe another character. I've got 1 here, and that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna end his turn here. So we don't have any enemies in the combat zone, so no strikes here. I have to get rid of this. No, actually I don't. I don't have to get rid of this because I'm not playing draw strike. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna end this right here. So discard this. Let's draw 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is actually good. This becomes a coordinate 3 attack if ever the time comes. All right, so let's go to the mechanic and her Hive phase. All right, so Dr. Cameron Scott will get pushed into the combat zone. So let's see if we can get rid of him. We need 14. All right, what do we got? Well, we can do draw a card with the versatile programming. So I'll draw a card. Okay, another recruit. Yeah, another coordinate. We can also do, because we've played blue, choose any number of players to each draw a card. So let's do that. So I'll draw 1. Okay, another attack. He'll draw recruit and... Oh, okay. That's bad. All right, so let's see how many attacks we actually have here. Let me just put some order in here. Okay, so all in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe another 3 for 9. What else? 9. Still, 9 is not enough. 9. Well, what we could do right off the bat is just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably 5, 6 to actually just go get this for 5 because it is a coordinate. So I think I'm going to do that. Okay, I'll buy that, discard this, and reveal that. Okay, med pack, and I'll replenish. Ooh, nice. Okay, and now with all that attack, do we actually scan? Okay, let's do it. We've got 6 full attacks, so maybe we can clear some space here. So I don't know, let's do this for 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, cool. This is an ambush medic. When we kill this guy, we can heal any strike. And then we've got 3 more, so let's scan this one here. Oh, it's one of these dead enemies that we put back in the deck. So this says here, complex, shuffle 1 facehugger into the strike deck. So let's do that. Strike deck is getting pretty thin, so there's a good chance that we'll eventually draw a facehugger. It happened a few times in the game so far. 2, 3 times, I think. Anyway, all right. So that was all the attack. And now, of course, we have to go to the strike phase. So here it says, no strike. Perform the above reveal text, then have each of these new enemies strike. So, reveal text says, roll a d3 and add 1d3 dead characters taken from the top and put them in here. So, oh, that's horrible. Okay, so 3 characters from here, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Now he's 0 to kill, but he's still gonna strike. And it says here, have these new enemies strike. So, bang, bang, bang. So that means that my medic will be drawing 3 strikes. Oh, wow. And actually, before we do that, I actually forgot that my mechanic had this guy here, so she could have actually scanned the airlock or ventilation shaft. And I'm going to do this now. I mean, it's not going to break anything. I don't have any attacks left, but let's just scan, you know, because it's fun. So scanning the ventilation shaft. Okay, it's one of these frontline warriors. If they get in the combat zone, they have to be the first ones killed. So this won't change anything for now. So we are now at the strike phase, and I have to draw 3 strikes for my mechanic. That's horrible. All right, so she's got 2 strikes here on 9 health. We have to draw 3 strikes, and here we go. Yes. And, oh, okay, that hurts. That hurts. And lastly, oh, yes, I love these cards. Okay. Not the end of the world. She's not healthy, but she's not dead yet. All right, so we'll clean up for her, and then we'll move on to the Gunner's Hive phase. All right, so let's go here. All right, it's getting pretty crowded in here. So let's just go to the Hive phase. So let's put him here. This is gonna go down. And what is that? Okay, it's another Slayer drone. He's in the combat zone. He's going to kill 2 cards in HQ. So let's take the cheapest ones as we did before. Let's take these 2 here. They're both worth 3. Put them in the dead characters and replenish. We've got another critical analysis. Ah, no, really? Oh, that's horrible. Okay, it's that Relentless Hunter. So we'll turn him around. He's got 7. Man, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of enemies. Yeah, this we're going to have to end this soon, or else we're going to die. All right, let's go see what the Gunner can actually do. So this is not a good day for the Gunner here. He's got 2 of these Xenotoxin Insanities. So let's look at the first one here, or, you know, you can do these in any order, but I don't know. Let's do this one first. So draw from your deck until you draw a character with an attack value. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we have one. So 1. That value equals a total number of characters to kill in HQ. Okay, not bad. And then this is going to go in the next player's discard, so up here. Okay, we'll discard this. We'll kill 1 character in HQ. Let's just kill a cheap one like this one. Put them in the dead characters. We'll replenish, and we drew this. Next, the other Xenotoxin. Draw from your deck until you draw a character with an attack value. Discard all other cards drawn. That value equals the total number of random dead enemies to put back on top of the Hive. Okay, again, not so bad. So we'll do this. We'll draw. It's a 1. Okay, so 1 dead enemy back on the Hive. So let's do this randomly here. So let's say this one back on top of the Hive. Okay, next, can we get rid of Dr. Scott with 14? Can we? Can we? Can we? Okay, draw a card, which is good. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's just see how many attacks we can get. Well, we can get 4 with this meddlesome xenomorph because he's now a slave. So how much is that? 4, 5, 6. Okay, this drops the enemy down by 2. So 14 minus 2 is 12. So we have to do 12. All right, so 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, because we're at objective 3. 10, 11, 12, 13 because of this, 14. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. But I do have to roll, and if this backfires, I'll draw a strike and my kill will not have worked. But I think we have enough coordinate to make it work anyway, right? Let's count this again, because we've got a 3 attack here and a 2 attack here, so that's 5. Okay, so 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 3 is 10. That's 13. That's, yeah, we are good. We're good to go. So actually, we've just won. Yeah, we've just won. Yes. So I'm playing this, I'm playing that, and then it's bye-bye, Dr. Cameron Scott. You're gone. Bye-bye. So there you go. So good thing too, because I would have drawn a buttload of strikes. Essentially, well, we could have killed this guy for free. Maybe a few of these, but then with him, you still roll a d3. There you go. And then you add those dead characters back in here as, you know, enemies. Yeah, I think it would have spiraled out of control, basically. So I'm very happy we could do this right now. Very good, very good. All right, so there you go. I hope this gives you a good idea of how this thing plays. So let's just see what else we had up here, like what was left. Up here we had, okay, another, wow, okay. Oh, I thought it was the same card, it's not. Okay, our cornered scientist, and up here, a hazard, of course, and then another one of these frontline warriors, and another Slayer drone. Okay, good stuff. All right, so there you go. So let's go back up top and we can talk about this a little bit more. All right, so there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. I know I had fun playing it, although it came close to me actually losing. I was afraid of that, but you know, if it would have happened, it would have happened. So I think this particular scenario is a little bit on the tough side, and I have tested it primarily with 3 characters. I think it's fine with 4 or 5. I don't know about 2 or 1. Like, I don't think you can muster up like 15 attack when you're playing solo. I don't think so. So I would not suggest that. That being said, you could get lucky. You could get some of those slaves and potentially line up a whole bunch of them and do all the attack that you need to do. But be aware, it is on the tougher side. It is also very swingy, all depending on the die roll. But that's the nature of the game. You know, Legendary Encounters is a swingy game. You can have games that you can just breeze through and others where it's just brutal and awful. So I don't think my scenario, you know, breaks anything. I don't think it's any swingier than anything I've experienced with the regular scenarios. Now, one thing I want to mention is if you don't want to play this scenario, you can remove a lot of those cards and use them as drones in your regular scenarios. For example, the Facehugger Dispersers, basically every card, I'll put some right here, but every card that hasn't anything to do with the main scenario, you can just pick and choose and just slide them into your Hive decks in any other, you know, missions that you play. That's actually how this whole thing started. I made some drones for my other, you know, regular scenarios, and then I was like, oh, I've got so many drones, why don't I just make, you know, a scenario? And I did, and that's what I showed you today. And now before I go, if you remember in the very first video during setup, I mentioned that Aliens was my favorite movie, well, one of my favorite movies, you know, of my life. And I have a quick story for you here. When I was a kid, like 10 or 11, my dad taped Aliens off of the TV with a Betamax tape, okay? He cut out the commercials and everything. So anyway, we had this movie on tape, and eventually he let me watch it. He was like, okay, it's scary, but I think you can deal with it. So anyway, I watched the movie. I went insane. You know, I just loved this thing to death, and I wanted to watch it all the time. But I mean, I wanted to watch this thing like outside and while I was coloring and playing with my G.I. Joes or whatever, but you can't do that because this was like, you know, the early 90s or whatever, and you can't lug around a big TV, and we didn't have iPads and phones and, you know, like we do in the future now. So what I ended up doing was I put the Betamax in, I hit play, and then I had a radio cassette recorder and I hit record on that. So I was recording the sound of the movie as it was playing. And then anywhere I went, I could bring my little radio with a cassette and I could listen to Aliens while I was playing with like my other toys or while I was doing anything else. So I would listen to the movie over and over and over again. Yeah, that's how much I like this movie. And to this day, I know this movie like you know a song, basically. You could lock me up in a prison somewhere and I'd be like, I'm fine, man. I'm watching Aliens in my mind. So there you go, that's my Aliens story. So I hope you give this a try, and if you print it out and try it out, and if you like it, please consider making a small donation via PayPal. Just enough to buy me a coffee or something, because a lot of work went into this thing, and you know, I don't have any patrons on Patreon or anything like that, so if you enjoy what I do, it would be appreciated. I'm not twisting your arm, I'm just saying, it'd be nice. So there you go, so try it out, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next one. if you've enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button down below. Now, I know it seems like a very small thing to do, but it actually does help the channel when you do that. And if ever you should find yourself in a super generous mood, well, I do accept donations via PayPal. And anything you give, big or small, will help keep me going.
Get away from her, you bitch!